Hey butterflies, welcome back to Evolving Butterfly Goddess with me, Moe Nicole. Here we are all about evolving out loud in our life, our money, and our purpose through the energy of our ancestors. I want to thank you for your likes, comments, shares, and subscribes here on the channel. It is always appreciated. And a major shout out to all the channel members as well as the members over on my website. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your continued support. It is always appreciated, my loves. We are here with another channeled message, okay? With this message, I was feeling this energy of oh, before we get started, if you're a supporter of the channel, hit that thumbs up video, y'all, on the video, y'all. It helps the channel. It helps within the algorithm, okay? And it helps you not be able to lose the channel as well. I've been noticing that, you know, we have a lot of views and viewers, but few people be hitting that thumbs up on the video. And that has me questioning if I need to be keeping some of my things more so in the membership area and not post as much stuff publicly, okay? And so, yes, please make sure you are hitting the thumbs up on the video if you support the channel. As soon as you come in, just hit the thumbs up on the video, okay? Or the thumbs down, no matter what. Hit something, some type of engagement on the channel, okay? It takes a lot to channel collective energy, and especially it's free to just thumbs up a video, okay? So I was feeling this song by Erykah Badu, and it's called Drama. Do I have my, no, I just have my electrical one. I don't know how that one's gonna work, but I wanna burn a little bit of this. So this song is called Drama. And in that song, she says, I can't believe that we're still living. Oh, in this crazy, crazy world, that we're still living. With all the problems of the day, how can we go on? So tired of hearing people say, how can we go on? Oh. So I was watching this compilation of videos of people on TikTok who were sharing how the current financial crisis has been affecting them. And it's not something that's just affecting the United States. It's something that, you know, is affecting around the world. And we know that this is the response to the shutdowns and everything that we had. This was something that was projected, which is why a lot of people did not want the shutdowns, because they knew if we shut down, this is what it would lead us to, okay? So these are the results of the shutdowns, okay? And it's giving this energy right now. This world that we're living in is very chaotic. It's chaotic energetically on a spiritual level, as well as on a physical level. We have people who are doing things that most people will be like, oh, that's out of their character. That's not normally them. But I'm getting this energy of people's true, authentic selves come out in the midst of trouble and crisis. When they're in survival mode. How do you act when you're in survival mode? And right now, our world is in survival mode. And so now we're starting to see the truths of many people. We're starting to see the core of many people after being put into a state of survival. So a lot of people are showing a monstrous side to them, a by any means necessary side to them. We have some people, their hustle side is coming out. Other people, their collaborative side is coming out. And this is an energy that's giving What side of you is coming out right now? Is it a complaining spirit? Is it an action-oriented spirit? Is it a by any means necessary spirit? Is it a crisis spirit? Is it a chaotic spirit? Because that's when we fully know who we are when it comes to dealing with our shadow side. Who are we when we're in the middle of a crisis? Because that's when your natural instincts kick in. You don't have the time to stop and think. You know, so for example, the natural instinct, I always tell, don't run up on me or hit me, baby, because my natural instinct is going to be to pop your ass back. You get me? It ain't no thinking to that. You know, you run up on me, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was visiting my kids today and I was in the office. And so one of my babies, I guess, was sneaking up behind me. And the person in front of me was just like, you have a visitor. And I turned and I saw him sneaking up, and he wanted to sneak up to surprise me. But I told him, I said, baby, don't do that. Like, my natural instinct could have been me karate chopping you up in the throat or something. You never know. Like, don't do that, okay? But that is also a part of my shadow side and what I've had to work through and what I've had to grow through as a child into adulthood, right? And so in the midst of troubles and problems, that's when you see the truth of a person. So the same thing of how I do a lot of research when looking at, you know, mothers and even mothers who are married but still feel like a single mother. You know, their partner works 8 hours a day, get home, they still don't do nothing. But the mother is a stay-at-home mom and she works from sun up to sundown. Okay? Alone. And then we hear these reports saying, you know, before the children, he wasn't like this, or I never expected this from him, or whatever the case is, because the reality is that you never truly know a person until they are in this state of crisis or a difficult moment. So we can vet people out all we want to when it's all sunshines and roses and fun and good. But how is that person in the middle of crisis? And when they're in that crisis, are you looking at it objectively or with rose-colored lenses? How do they treat other people? How do they treat people who are quote unquote beneath them, who aren't at their status? How do they talk to people? Do they talk down on people? Do they talk like they're the big almighty and things of that nature? We are living in these times now where the world's truths are being revealed. And it's not ironic that this is getting even more serious right before an election in the United States. Things are planned. Things are planned. That's all. I want to say more, but I'm going to leave that for the, I don't know. I'm going to leave that. I don't want to talk too much on the public aspect because I don't know everybody that's watching me. But what I will say is pay attention to things below the surface. A lot of things are created and they want our reaction. Problems are created for our reaction. Our reactions is now currency. Our reaction to what is going on is currency. So in order to get more currency, to get more consumption, they got to give you something to consume. They got to get more reactions. And right now, the people are taking the brunt end of the stick. And as we get deeper into this crisis of what's going on, a lot more people are going to be showing their ass, literally and figuratively. And they're going to want to label it all mental health. But the reality is a lot of it was already in those people. They just maintained the beast. It's time for communities to start coming together, working together, building together, cooperative economics. That's what Kujikanjulia in Swahili. Let me see. Ujamaa, I'm sorry. Cooperative economics, Ujamaa. We're at the point where we're realizing it takes a community, y'all. And to survive through all of this is going to take being active with a community. This is not the time to be disjointed. They're closing a lot of schools down. Lack of teachers, student enrollment in different spaces. And I was just talking with a couple of teachers when I was up at the school, and they were talking about how, you know, the school is closing, and, you know, next year a lot of the students are going to have to merge with one of the local schools. And one of the teachers was like, oh, that's a bad idea. You bringing kids together from different hoods, and that's just, and I stopped him and I said, we need that. We need to start teaching something different. We need to stop having all these adults going along with this gang banging and this hoodlum stuff about blocks and hoods that you don't own shit in. You don't own anything. We don't own anything as a collective. But we want to be mad about things. It's time to go back to the olden times and days where we start utilizing cooperative economics, collective responsibility. Women were not supposed to be single mothers and raise them alone. They had a community of mothers, grandmothers, aunties, sisters, aunts. It was a community. Which is why a lot of the ways of how we are living or trying to push ourselves to live is not natural, and it's causing severe depression, anxiety, it's causing severe other mental health issues and problems because it was never meant to be like this in the first place. It was never meant to be just the man and the woman with the child, the quote unquote nuclear family. Now, if you're a person of color, then you already know historically it's always been about having the extended family. It was not a man's responsibility to take care of a child. Women naturally have that. But it takes a community. So when we started allowing the government and everything else to say, oh, ain't nobody gonna tell my child what to do, and da-da-da-da, and all of this. And so now we can't even correct another child when we see something wrong, which is why we have the issues that we have now. No one wants to be corrected. So what can we do at this time? In this world that's going through so much drama, changes, issues, we need community. And I don't want to hear no damn excuses on how, find them. Stop trying to create community with people who don't want to create it with you. There are plenty of people who are looking for communities. We have the internet, search, even if you have to start with an online community to find your people. This is not the time to allow excuses to keep coming in. For example, one of the members, she was sharing how after one of the videos, it made her want to join the membership, right? So she came to the membership, and so she's been severely active. And to find that this was her village, right? So we have conversation, things of that nature, to find that we have a lot of things in common. But if I wouldn't have put the energy out there, created the space for her to come to, for us to then be able to communicate, she wouldn't have found that like energy that she was looking for. But she put herself out there humbly, vulnerably. And now she got a sister who, baby, I'm going to share whatever she doing because I believe in it. It takes a community to see how we both have similar goals of, you know, creating like these communities of farms and gardens and, you know, just this, oh, man, like, it's time, y'all. It's time. And I'm so appreciative of the people who have been in my space, in my community, who I've had chance to have conversations with about future things, growth. You know, I found myself starting to get irritated with some of, even in the spiritual community and tarot, because I feel like a lot of it is keeping the people down. It's keeping you stuck in a victim mindset. To want to keep blaming everybody about what's going on here, what's going on there. What are the solutions? But when we talk about solutions, people don't want to click on those videos. But they have to remember, only about 20% of the world is actually going to do the ascending this lifetime. Ears just started ringing with it. Same way how Harriet Tubman couldn't save every slave. And it's because they didn't accept that they were even a slave. They accepted their slavery. And I'm personally tired of it. I almost got to the point where I was just like, man, I'm about to just leave. I want to leave the spiritual community. Because I don't want to keep channeling victim messages. I don't want to keep channeling what this person is doing, what this person is doing. I give solutions at the end, but how many people stay for the end? Few. When the retention on the videos average about 3.5 minutes. If you're not talking about a twin flame or talking about somebody who hurt you and if they coming back, people don't want to watch it. I want to be in spaces with people who growing, who want to grow, who are growing. So I guess at this time, maybe I need to hear from you all that you feel in this community, that you feel like you are getting something of substance and growing, because I don't want to be in any space where people are not evolving. I don't want to be a part of this tarot community and spiritual community to be labeled in spaces that are keeping people stuck. That's not life. That's not my purpose. And if I got to go and do that somewhere else or do it in another way, then I will.